So I should have started this video when I embarked on this thing, but it was kind of a surprise. But I took a friend of mine fishing the other day, and we were fishing in a little bay right next to another bay that was full of really tall cattails. And they were in full, I mean, they were taller than me. So I waded in there and I got some right here. And I've dried them. This is from 3 cattails. I got 6 arrow shafts. These are arrow shafts. And then I took one of the arrow shafts so far, the biggest one. Oops, there we go. Smoothed it out. It's straight as hell. And then I flint knapped up an obsidian arrowhead. And I attached it with faux sinew and natural adhesive, which is pine sap and charcoal. Okay, now it's time to cut in the notches for the feathers. I've already cut in the first notch. Can you see it? The reason I cut this notch here is because this is going to be the outside feather. So that when I'm pulling it, I already have an outside feather. And that will be my off-color feather. So that I always know what the outside feather is, so that the arrow shoots at the same time. Alright, we have figured out the 1/3 measurements around by putting a real arrow notch to notch against this arrow. We're going to make a notch for each of the flights. Ooh, a good one. I'm not going too deep. Perfect. How far does that first one go? To about there. All right, cool. This charcoal. So we'll just take it. That's probably all we need for that whole thing. What? Iron. Right. Next step is we need to make a natural adhesive to put into those grooves. So I was out, so I gathered some more pine sap. That was cracked out of there. This is from blue spruce in my backyard. And then I got that piece of charcoal I showed you, and then we're gonna make some adhesive. Okay, we got this in the vise, ready to go. I'm going to cheat a little bit with the heat gun, but you can also use any kind of fire, coals, stove, any kind of heat source. Alright, so here's the charcoal. And we're going to crunch it up. There we go. Still kind of flaky, so I'm just gonna hit it a few more times so it's just powdery, powdery. The charcoal acts as the binder of the adhesive. So the trick is to not get too much of this in there, because then the adhesive turns glassy and it's brittle. And so it seems like a little bit. Last time I did it, I used too much of this and it was glassy and brittle. All right, so now there's the last time. All right, so we're gonna take and cut. We are going to use this feather as a stir. Heat gun. We're going to heat up this spruce sap. Sorry. Can you smell it? And back the heat source down a little bit. We don't want to boil, but we do need to melt. It's kind of hard to melt without boiling because it kind of goes straight to boiling. But that's what's kind of nice about using a heat gun. But if you're doing it over a fire or coals or a flame, you would be adjusting it with you would have the Altoid can in your pliers, and you'd be moving that up and down.
It smells really good.
Mm-hmm. It smells so, like, I don't know, natural. You see the stuff coming down here? You see how we're separating out kind of the bad stuff, all the chunks, and we're just getting the sap down there. It wants to boil. We're just kind of working this, the dark colored stuff up, because that's more bark, dirt, and other sediments within the sap. Just getting rid of this cool stuff right here. Pretty good separation. So what I'm going to do is let it cool while I continue separating like this, so that the kind of the sediments or the bad stuff kind of gets separated as it cools. There you go. guess I'm gonna scoop that out. That's the stuff. Okay. Kind of took out those chunks. There's always a few chunks. There's always a few chunks, but this is just sap, man. It's badass. All right, so now we're going to transform the sap into an adhesive. Boil hard, but to just heat up. Check that out. That is cool. Literally, man, you could be sitting next to a campfire and have created this with, you know, you don't have to have a heat gun. Oh, that sounded dumb. Wow, man. I've done this before, but I haven't. This is actually a little better way because before I never really took out those chunks. So this is kind of a evolution of me learning this. Again, if you were on a fire, you would have the Altoid can and the pliers and be moving it up and down over the stationary coals. But I got a heat gun because I'm in my garage. Okay, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? Yeah. Can you grab that little half of a teaspoon of charcoal and dump it in that flame? Just dump it. There you go. Ow. Yeah, I just shot that heat gun right on my damn hand. I think we have a really good mix here. That's about the right color you want. Let's get everything off the edges. Wow. One more pinch. Hold on. It just feels like we need a tiny bit more. I'm boiling it on purpose just for a second, backing off. Really want that ash. Alright, and we're going to not that cool. Okay, here we go. I'm nervous, but it's the first time I've done this, but I know it's gonna work. No, I don't. I hope it's gonna work. Here we go. We've got our adhesive, and I think we have a good mix. Look at it. Isn't that cool? All right. We're gonna heat her up. This is a feather end. The other end of the feather is going to be the flights, the 3 flights of the arrow. Here we go. Man, dude, this is so cool. Man. If I could get this thing unhooked from my feather, I could probably start putting it on the arrow, but we'll just be patient. And make our glue. Come on now, kid. Get up. There we go. Alright, what I'm going to try to do is collect enough of this. Maybe I'll use the other end, but right now I'll do this. I'm going to try to get it in this notch. Which one? Ouch. This notch here. There we go. Oh, this is probably going to spill over. What as we're going to take the first off color, place it in. Hold that in the notch. What's cool about this glue is it dries faster. But I don't let go yet. I think it's dry and I think it's safe to let go, but I don't want to yet. Once this dries, I'll be able to just flake this thing off. All right, 2 more. All right, number 2. Put it right in that groove. Get a little bit right there. Yes. Oops. I gotta get that undershot. There we go. And with this one. That's a really short little feather. So, I mean, we're gonna use it, but next time I'm gonna do a longer one. Look at how it's just sucking down into that glue. There's two. Cool. There's our new flight. Ah. Alright, come on. Here. Oh. I like how the objective on each of these flights for me was to keep it a little cleaner on each one, and they actually got like just sloppy ass worse. But all right, whatever. I don't think a squirrel cares once I shoot it. Forgot to do that top notch out. So the purpose of the flights is to counterbalance this thing. So once it's shot in the air with the frontward balance arrowhead shot through the air, if you have the flights, they will drag in the air and keep the arrow straight. That's the purpose of the flights. We're going to shoot. Shoot this way, I guess. I kind of screwed up with the flights. Now we just wait for everything to dry and I'll sinew this.
Yep, it's going.
Okay, we're finished. Final product of the flight on and secured with sinew. The decoration. And the arrowhead, so this guy's ready to shoot.